So check this out, guys. We are putting in this waterfall, which is the main fall, and it's viewable from all the different windows in the house. We wanted to create a little bit of extra interest. So what we did is we made a secret fall to the right. So it doesn't have its own pump. It's just a gravity feed pipe that goes right there and down behind the back, but you can't see it. So it looks like it's just coming right out of the earth.
Jonathan Marston, Falling Waterscapes. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, Greg. How are you?
Now, you did not build this.
No, we did not.
What's the story there?
So this is a leaky feature built by a mason who clearly does great work, but when it comes to water features, doesn't quite have that expertise.
Yeah, so it was not a big enough basin and it leaked and everything else. Are we in Dover still?
We are.
So we're in Dover, Massachusetts. I'm Greg Wittstock, the pond guy. I'm traveling with this young, incredibly talented artist out here checking out his water features. And this is a project that you built
3 years ago.
3 years ago. All right. It's all about living the aquascape lifestyle. Let's check out another beautiful aquascape ecosystem pond. So you were saying as we were walking up, they rope off the pool, but not the pond.
Yeah, she has a young grandson, about 4 or 5 years old.
Aw.
Worried about him around the pool, but funny enough, not at all around the water feature. She feels safe just letting him kind of wander up.
Well, one thing, the difference between a pool that goes straight down ledges up to 6 feet or 8 feet or whatever, in a pond, which we're walking up to right now, is there's shelves and it doesn't go as steep.
Yep.
Wow, look at this, man. I love how it comes right out of the woods. Like I said, we got a talented young man here. Wow. So what I love about it up there, it looks like it just comes way back there. It probably stops pretty close to up there, right?
Yep, so right around that tree in the middle there, it stops, but it looks like it's coming out of the hillside.
Oh, buddy, this is fantastic. I love your use of stone. These are actually big enough boulders that you can just walk across them and step. And then once again, if you were to step in, that's probably only 6 inches deep, and that's probably only a foot deep right there, going down to 2 feet in the center.
Yep.
I love the bridge. And I think that you did a great job with this vertical element of the stacked slate spear on this side to offset kind of the height of the waterfall. I'm assuming you did that on purpose.
So there was so much action over here that this part of the pond got lost. So we try to balance it with that vertical element.
This kid's got the it factor, baby. Oh, look at these steps. Did you do all these steps too?
And
wow.
We did the trees to create a little bit of mystery, and so you're not just seeing the whole wall.
Right, as you walk around, it expands. And look at this beautiful bridge. Wow. Oh, buddy. Now, if that doesn't look natural, I don't know what does. I love the log with the moss on it. Great sound. You got a lot of action in there. Is that a wetland up there?
We got a wetland on the left, and then we got a large biofalls on the right.
I can see it. So the wetland's over here, biofalls over there. And remember, that's the filter, baby. And that's the filter. Some hydrangeas. I like the creeping junipers because it softens up. I mean, this has only been here for 3 years, but it looks like it's always been here.
So I think you'll like this patio, Greg. We created a secret waterfall where you really
oh,
can't
yeah,
see that
yeah.
anywhere else. You have to come to this patio and enjoy it. And if you come over here, you'll notice with all these trees here, it really shields you from the house. So
yes.
It brings you more into the woods, which on the property like this, the woods are in the back, but you're really not a part of them. So here you have that experience.
That's thinking. And look at that gorgeous house. Dover, Massachusetts. My first time to Dover, and I love it. Look at that beautiful fern. Go up here. Look at the details. Wow. I love how you actually did some slate work on the back side of the wetland here. It's the little details.
Some nice sharp edges.
Yeah, with the boulders intermingled to them. Once again, you don't want to know where the land ends and the water begins. What is this? Is this
I believe that's a mint.
Oh yeah, see. That's absolutely mint. You are right. You don't want to know where the water ends and the land begins, and that's exactly what you have here. So you have a boulder, aquatic plant, like you said, a uniform line, another boulder, just terrific.
So what's cool too is we service this feature regularly.
Sure, maintenance.
2 to 3 times a month.
Yep.
We don't do one big clean out every year. We leave this running year round and just do little bits of maintenance throughout.
Because they're always up on it. A leaf falls in, a week or 2 later, you're coming and clearing it out. So you don't need to do an annual clean out because it stays clear.
Exactly. So when I come here, I notice little things like little rocks move and stuff like that, and it's her grandson coming up here and
oh, that's what it's about.
The frog. So we actually try to create a couple of things to really encourage that experience. So if you look here by the bridge, there's a lot of flat stones. It doesn't look like a walkway, but it's very conducive to walking. And then we have a destination stone in this cooling area here.
Like this is a destination boulder. It's flat. You'd sit there and just splash with your feet. And I'm sure he does that.
And he loves the frogs, and they're all in here.
So what was involved with creating this?
Greg, when we got here, it was completely covered in cattails. You couldn't even see any water.
Wow.
We did an exploratory clean out, removed the cattails, cleaned everything, and then saw a few problems that we tried to fix, but it was really beyond repair. So we recommended a rebuild, and with that, a complete redesign. Bridges, an urn, these stepping stones that lead you across the pond. There was a lot of bells and whistles. There's even lights coming out from under here. And it was a substantial project. For something like this, has about 160,000 pounds of stone.
Wow.
We're looking at about $80,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, not bad though. For $80,000 to $100,000, that's less than that swimming pool right there. And I'm sorry, and I like swimming pools, but I bet you this is $100,000+ swimming pool with a concrete pool like this. 120,000 easy, but look at how much more interactive and enjoyable this is than just the swimming pool. Hey, when you can afford it, it's great to have both, but I'm gonna pick plants, I'm gonna pick the fish, I'm gonna pick the waterfalls, I'm gonna pick the landscaping, I'm gonna pick what you've got here any day over a one-dimensional swimming pool. This even runs in the winter, right?
It does, yeah. In the winter, that urn becomes a whole ball of ice. The stream also ices over. It's really pretty.
Wow.
We have these unseasonably warm days in winter now. Occasionally in January, it hits 60. So on a nice day like that, you can come out and enjoy your landscape when in Massachusetts, everything else is barren and stark. So this provides a little bit of life year round, which is really cool.
Amen.
So check this out, guys. When we were putting in this waterfall, which is the main fall and it's viewable from all the different windows in the house, we wanted to create a little bit of extra interest. So what we did is we made a secret fall to the right. So it doesn't have its own pump. It's just a gravity feed pipe that goes right there and down behind the back, but you can't see it. So it looks like it's just coming right out of the earth. So this stone right here is one of the largest rocks that we placed into the feature, and it was pretty hairy getting it in there. It's probably close to 4,000 pounds. Our excavator couldn't handle it, but fortunately the skid steer we had on site could. So we strapped it onto the forks and we're spinning around this massive boulder and got it in. What's cool about it is that it has the really sharp edge. It's almost a reverse cut that goes into the water. So when you're on that rock, you're almost hanging out over the feature. And you'll notice too, there's a lot of flat rocks here. Flat there, and if you come up close to the bridge, there's also flat stones. So the idea behind that was to make it very interactive where you can stand on it. And also, this client has a daughter that really loves the property, wants to get married here someday. So for a future wedding, there'll be some great photo opportunities up and throughout the feature. Let's check out a few more areas. So one really cool thing about the bridges we like to do is we like to keep them nice and low so that it doesn't detract away from the water feature. And on top of that, we want to anchor it to the surrounding landscape. So little cuts like this where we custom jig it right around the stone really helps to make it seem like the bridge and the rest of the feature are one. Some more of that zigzag cutting there. So getting about 160,000 pounds of material into a job site is never easy, especially in a yard where there's a lot of mature landscaping. So here, the driveway's over behind the pool, but we couldn't get around the pool. So we ended up having to create a road all the way from the side of the house, basically comes up a hill, and then this area, this whole section of lawn became a road. And you can actually see the grass is a little greener here than it is there. There's that really distinct line. So even though we did this project 3 years ago, you can see a little bit of the history of it. We had all of our material staged on the left there, and then basically just brought it in with a skid steer. It was definitely interesting getting it up on the back side of the hill there, as there's about 25 feet or so elevation change. So I think it was a rainy day too when we were getting the boulders up the hill. But nonetheless, you know, challenges are what make a project really fun, and this one certainly was very fun in that regard.
To have a 26-year-old kid be this talented is pretty amazing to me. I certainly wasn't anywhere close to Jonathan's level, and it's because he did it right. First of all, he had a passion. He started this when he was in high school. I started it when I was in elementary school, but he went and apprenticed with a certified aquascape contractor. Every certified aquascape contractor that I know is always looking for passionate people. We hire for attitude, we train for aptitude. Hey, if you're looking at somebody that you know or yourself that's interested in a job in this profession, please check out the link below to find a certified aquascape contractor by you who's hiring, or start living the lifestyle yourself. Check out a link for those guys too. I love my job.